We just so happened to be talking about Palworld earlier this week in regards to their ongoing lawsuit with Nintendo, but here they are out here. Instead of, taking the stupid developments in that case personally, if you want more on that, go check out that video from Thursday, I think, it ended up dropping. But regardless, okay, now they're coming out here announcing a brand new Palworld spin-off, so I wonder who's going to go ahead and take umbrage with this. But Palfarm, create your own amazing farm with your favorite pals. I can go ahead and put the trailer on mute in the background because honestly, it looks good for what you got right out there. Hey, maybe Nintendo, depending on what we have right here, they might say, hey, look at this. This is just an obvious Animal Crossing ripoff. And because, well, outside of a couple of indie titles that are out there, I know that there's some aspects of Stardew Valley that are kind of Animal Crossing like, but this whole, normally what is referred to, slow paced, cozy, kind of farming, kind of city building, Sims-esque sort of game. There's not a lot of overly successful ones, even though there is quite a demand for the genre. And well, you take a look at what the trailer is offering, and honestly, it looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty cool as well. And yeah, if I was interested more in this genre, I would be a lot more enthusiastic about this. But it's definitely, it's gonna do quite well, I would imagine, because Palworld, even at this point in time, is still going strong. I bought a copy myself, and honestly, I don't regret the purchase because the steps that they're making and the fact that they're sticking it to Nintendo, I just go ahead and throw some money behind that one. But in the genre itself, there was another game that released not that long ago, and that would have been Tales of the Shire, another hemorrhoid on the ass of Tolkien adaptations. And well, not doing all that well, mostly because, well, we went through some of the earlier reviews when it came out at the time, but yeah, 2 out of 5 stars tends to be about what we had right there. Feels like a slog, boring, busted, glitchy, and absolutely and totally unoptimized. I remember that being the cry at the time, but the more interesting stuff regarding this horrific game were the people working on it, and well, they were acolytes of Sweet Baby Inc., and we're also crying racism and playing the victim because, people were taking a look at this and going what the fuck are you doing out here? Okay, it's all fine and dandy, but why are we trying to have Rings of Power Harfoots mixed in with our Hobbits? And don't really want this shit. Should have made your own shitty game so it could stand on its own 2 feet. But no, it came and went and died. Nobody talks about it anymore. It's, well, as you can tell on Steam, practically dead. But I would have to imagine of the less than 300 people still playing it right now, I wonder how many would fall in line with some of the people that helped make this game and consider this to be an accurate representation of these cozy farming simulators. Sweet Baby Inc. team member claims cozy games like farming sims promote colonialism and must be changed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Even when you have a diverse cast of characters like Tales of the Shire has, or you got, I don't even know what's more diverse than what Palfarm is going to be doing. If that's promoting colonialism, yeah, okay, man. At the 2025 Game Developers of Color Expo. Okay, Sweet Baby Inc. team member Tristan J. Tarwater. God, there's so many easy jokes to make, but I'll just move right along. Gave a talk called Decolonizing Cozy Games. What unfolded was a startling presentation where even farming families in the Four Seasons themselves were framed as symptoms of colonialism. Yes, because if you recall, thanks to their patron saint, Anita Sarkeesian, everything is sexist, everything is racist, and it needs to be pointed out. And so, once again, thanks to Master of the TDS and Writing Raven for pointing this stuff out because somebody has to. One of the opening slides attempted to redefine the genre's foundations. Decolonization, often framed as an undoing of colonial influences and structures, it is also a creative process of imagining what cultures would look like if not disrupted by the exploitations of colonialism. Huh? Like the colonialism of the Shire, a parcel of land that was afforded to the Hobbits after they helped remnants of the Kingdom of Arnor in a war against the Witch King of Angmar. No, yeah, definitely, that's what happened right there. Decoloniality and decolonialidad. What the fuck did I just read? The practice of rejecting Eurocentric ways of knowing and being. Okay, coined by some fucking racist hack. This concept acknowledges how different concepts of the cosmos. Oh, fuck's sakes, man. This is like trying to equate melanin to moon runes. Don't ask. Dumbest shit imaginable. Influence knowledge of acquisition, information storage, origin transfer and the ideals itself. In other words, the designers weren't talking about just tweaking mechanics, and they were questioning the very cultural foundations that cozy games typically draw from. One side bluntly titled Colonialism in Cozy Games, where, spelled out, what Tarwater sees as problems in the genre. So many white people. Yeah, because they're just like racists. There's no point in even hiding it anymore. They just hate white people. The outside individual who saves the day. What, your character that goes in and builds a successful farm? Yeah, fuck you. We just wanted to just roll around in the mud all day. You coming in, trying to grow food and shit, trying to practice animal husbandry. What's wrong with you? Corn and wheat make number go up. Yes, running a successful farm in your successful farming game is an indication that you're doing a good job. The nuclear family and 2-generation family. Holy shit. Monochromatic structures, 4 seasons, Gregorian calendar. Time is racist, guys. Conveniently ancient civilizations. Conveniently ancient, bro. Spirituality is silly and straight up racism. No, you detailed that quite well in your presentation there, idiot. That's right, even farming staples like corn and wheat and the concept of a 2-parent household where the parents are a man and a woman were presented as vestiges of colonial influence and thus deemed a problematic element of cozy games by Sweet Baby Inc. But yes, how do we decolonize cozy games? They don't provide any solutions. They just simply have more questions to ask, because if they had any solutions, their grift would be over. What does safety mean for the audiences that we are trying to reach? Not like our actual player base. It's just, who do we want to pander to who's never going to buy our product? Mechanics rewards, what mechanics rewards cultural touchstones and character archetypes will we implement that will resonate with them? Well, apparently you haven't figured it out beforehand, because none of your games that you have made have been successful. What is the relationship of the player character and the NPC community, and how can we handle this mechanically and narratively? How many generations of people are present at any time? The fuck? Yo, I just want to, like, I don't know, grow some beans and shit. Like, the fuck are you doing? How is time measured, and how does this play out mechanically and narratively? Yo, are you gonna try to drag time blindness into this? Oh my god, remember when that concept was introduced? Because, you can't say the lazy people are lazy because, you know, culturally speaking, they just have a certain level of time blindness, so you can't fire anybody who's late for their job. Jesus Christ. The presentation closed with a slide of games to check out. Okay. Among the titles were Fields of Mystaria and Saltsea Chronicles, but also Tales of the Shire. There you go. A game Sweet Baby Inc. directly worked upon. There you go, guys. If you want to be a part of and you want to help out the effort to decolonize cozy games, you need to go ahead and buy a game worked on by the company who employs the person who just gave the talk. You see how the grift goes, and you see why the grift is never going to stop, because this shit is way too fucking easy to manipulate. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.